Welcome to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm your host, Hank Ledke, and I'm at the Northern Lights Dance Academy with Kai Velde, who's what do you say what you are again?
I am the director of the dance competition teams here in Frazee and Park Rapids.
I didn't know you had one in Park Rapids, too.
We do. We started that location a little over 10 years ago, and we have 4 competition teams there, and we have 5 competition. Wait, I got to make sure we have 5. We have 5 competition teams here. Yep.
Well, now that's got to get quite a bit of driving back and forth.
It is. We have. I usually do it one day a week, and then we have another teacher here, Kate Colleton. She drives it twice a week, and then we have some great girls that just graduated that teach for us, and they go there once a week. And then we do have one teacher who actually lives in Park Rapids. So, yeah, we've been doing this drive for quite a few years now.
It's hard to believe that you guys have been in operation over 10 years already.
Yes. So Park Rapids has been 10 years, and we are coming up. Kendall opened the studio. My sister opened it in 2000. I believe it was 2006.
Wow.
Yes. So, or possibly it might have been 2007. So she's coming up there on the years of being open. So we've been here for quite a while. We started with. Well, she started in Perm and then moved to Frazee, and she actually just had the space we're in right now. And when I came and started working here, I came from Las Vegas, and I worked here for 1 year, and then we were working on the schedule for the next season. We realized we had just grown out of the small space, so we built onto this building and have a very large studio next to us. So that's where our big competition pieces get to work, and we have up to 50 kids in one dance, so we need space for one. We need space for it.
50 kids in one operation is big.
That is huge. That is it's called our production line. So all of our junior teams, our senior teams, and our elite teams can participate in that dance. They have one practice a month, but the practice is like 4 hours. So it's very long, but they get the dance done. And that is actually the dance that won nationals last year in Wisconsin Dells. So it was really great to have the dance and both studios are in that dance. So we have dancers from Park Rapids who drive here once a month and participate in that dance as well.
So when you won in Wisconsin last year, how many teams? Do you remember how many were competing?
Well, we're there for about 5 days of competition. So it's probably in the 700 to 800 dances. So yes, we were super excited. You get, what happens is if you score the top 3 get to go compete again in all these categories. And we actually had, and they call it the Grand Nationals, and we actually had 3 dances that made it to Grand Nationals, and then our production won the Nationals.
Boy, that had to be amazing for the girls.
We have a video, and I literally watch it probably once a week. It's so fun to watch, because you're just sitting there thinking, we're just small town. Like we just want to go and experience everything we can in our small town to move. And so I think for us, it was just exciting to be part of it. And I just kind of was sitting back waiting for them to call someone else. I know that's horrible, but you just never think it's going to be you. And so I kind of just blacked out when they called our name. So to have the video and be able to watch it over and over, and I watch individually each kid's reaction is hilarious.
Yeah. And so now that was a highlight. And then, so how do you come back from doing something as grand as that?
You know, every year we have new goals, and every year I really am vocal about what my goals are, because I think my biggest thing with my kids is you have to put it out in the atmosphere. If you want it to happen, you have to say it out loud. And so I have said that I have goals that I have them write down goals every year too. And when we come back from each competition, we look at what we accomplished, what we maybe didn't, and maybe the next competition will be the one we get to. So, but every year I'm kind of like, there's goals that I didn't even know I had. And I think it was 2 years ago I got my first IDA choreography nomination and got to go to LA and go to a huge award ceremony. Every dancer you could think, everyone from Dancing with the Stars is there, everyone. And it was like the Emmys for dance teachers, and that was a big goal that I didn't know I had. So now this year we're going to a dance competition where we could get another nomination. So obviously wrote that back on my goal list. So hopefully we can go to LA again. Would love to take my dancers with me now this year. So that's my goal for this year. Obviously just to do well. Our teams are really, we're really competitive for sure. We want to win, but we also just want to have a great time and have a learning experience. And I said, my best advice for them is when you get off stage, whether we win or lose, my biggest accomplishment is when dance teachers from other studios or dancers from other studios come up and comment and say, I'll never forget that dance. That's my main goal, is for people to remember what we put on the dance floor.
We're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back with Kai and what's happening here this week. Welcome back to Spotlight on Frazee. We're still up at the Northern Lights Dance Academy with Kai and talking about what's going to be happening this Tuesday here. So, and it won't be happening at the dance studio, but it's going to be at the high school.
Yes, so probably a lot of them have heard of the Lionheart because they've been here for 2 years now. The Lionheart experience is out of Michigan, and they have come here and performed for the kids at the school and also at the event center. And at the event center last year, I think they said around 400 people showed up. So it was a very big event in town, and they have music, they have raps, they sing, and they really connect with kids and especially young adults and teenagers about like the hardships of being a kid and being understood. So we actually, my mom, Tafet, asked me to bring my dancers last year to watch them. And I don't love missing technique class, but decided it'd be a good thing to go to. And we went and just got to watch them. And I remember thinking, this is great music for hip hop because it's appropriate. And I'd say that's probably the hardest thing when you're a hip hop teacher, is to find appropriate music that has great beats. And one of my dancers, Zoe Rosu, really connected with Joe, the director of the Lionheart Experience. And so she had told him all about our studio. She interns here, she assists with classes. So she's a big part of the studio, and told him about how we've been national champions. And he was just, so he ran up to us in the crowd and was like, are you guys the dance studio? And then I'd say middle of summer, he just randomly found me on Instagram and messaged me and said, I would love to come back and do a dance performance with one of our songs that we are going to make up especially for you. So asked us to come be part of this opportunity with him.
Well, this is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be Tuesday night. And what time does it start?
It starts at 6 o'clock at the Frazee High School. It's $10 to get in. I would suggest bringing all your kids. I think it's great for parents. The song we are dancing to is called Cold Streets. He produced it and wrote it, and it's about, you know, those kids that are like top athletes and straight A students, they're getting attention, and then there's those kids that are struggling and they're getting attention. So it's those kids in the middle that sometimes we forget about. Those kids that are doing okay. Maybe they're in one sport, and maybe sometimes they just don't get the recognition they deserve. So he talks about angels and cold streets. So it's these kids that maybe in this middle area that sometimes we forget to, you know, give them words of affirmation and, you know, tell them they're doing a good job.
Well, I know from my being involved with what little I have with the Lionheart Experience and seeing it, you know, and helping out with when they were over in Vegas and seeing it last year, I've been amazed, you know, and especially when talking with Joe, you know, where he was, this is just something that they started part-time and has gone, you know, he had to make up his mind whether he was going to stay doing what he was doing. I think he was teaching.
I think so too, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And or do this. And they found out that they could actually make a living at this.
So yeah, I think he's kind of like us at the studio. You know, I never thought this would be my only job. I'd always be working somewhere else, and this has become my main focus, which is awesome because it's what I love and that's what he loves. So we both kind of have connected on that, and they're actually making a documentary. So they're actually bringing in videographers for this performance, and it's going to be a big deal.
Well, that's great. I really appreciate you being on the program, Kai, and also working on this to bring the Lionheart Experience here. And also moving back to Minnesota from Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's quite a difference, but I love it. I love the kids here. Our rec program is amazing, and our competition program has just been outstanding. So I could never imagine leaving now.
Great. So, you know, I want you guys to think Christmas is coming up here. You know, let's think good thoughts and help people. But remember, pet the dog, hug the kids, kiss the wife, and wave at the neighbor. The next person you wave at could be your next best friend. Merry Christmas. Catch you next week on Spotlight on Frazee.